Hello and welcome to Trading 5 Talents. In today's video, I want to share 3 tools that you can use to find stocks to trade the wheel on in 2022. And these are all free resources that you can use, and I'll leave all the links down in the description. The first one I've talked quite extensively about. This is probably my favorite resource, and this is called Optionsellerroi.com. And this is a free website, just like all of these screeners will be, to find stocks. And here are the things that I like about this site. And I'll go to the site so I can show you what I'm talking about. So this site already breaks down the best ROI for cash secured puts and covered calls. And there's 2 sections to the site that I'll show you. You can scan by your days till expiration if you want to trade monthlies or trade weeklies. You can set your delta values. I think this is pretty important, at least the way that I trade the wheel. I'm looking for specific deltas on my puts and on my calls in order to enter those trades. There's chart integration through TradingView, and there's also OptionStrat integration if that's something that you're interested in. And also the option tracker ability. So you can put in all of your trades and then you can see if they're in the money, out of the money. You can track all your profit through it. So it's just a nice all-in-one website that allows you to keep track of all of your trades, scan for options, because it's made by an option seller. So let's go to the website and take a look at some of these features. All right, here we are at Optionsellerroi.com, and you can see over on the left-hand side, you can look at cash secured puts, the overall best overall ROI or ROI per day, and same thing with the covered calls. You can also search your symbols. But what's nice about this is that it has these built-in lists that it's going to be screening. So I just usually use the high IV stocks for both of these lists. And I've also been asked when I use this, do I go for the best overall ROI or do I go to the best ROI per day? And I guess the answer is yes. I'm looking for all of the different potential plays that I could do. So I'm trying to sort of cast my net pretty wide and take a look at each of these. So you can see here all of these different filters. What I'm looking for is the expiration of 14 days or less, and I'm looking for specific delta, minimum and maximum. So I could enter all of that information in and search, and then the screener would update. And again, you've got the TradeView or the TradingView chart integration, as well as the OptionStrat if you want to take a look at that. As with any of these websites, they are only suggestions. So just because it has a symbol on here and a specific strike price, it's not a trade recommendation. It's just a suggestion for some more due diligence on your part as a trader. But it's nice to take a look and see what the different symbols are, both on cash secured puts as well as covered calls. So if we look at ROI per day for the cash secured put, you can see similar names, similar tickers up here. Covered calls, AMC, Riot, Bed Bath & Beyond, Mara, GME, and same thing here, AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, Mara, GME, Riot. So very similar, whether it's the ROI or the ROI per day. You can also make a wish list down here at my symbols, your custom list. So it's pretty nice. It's very fast, very responsive. So this is a really great site that I highly recommend to anybody looking for stocks for the wheel strategy this year. So if you'd like to help support the developer of this site, there is a Patreon link here. You can become a member and you can get some other features if you want to, but otherwise the screener is free. Okay, the next screener is Barchart.com, and this is the one that I originally mentioned when I was looking for stocks. This is the tool that I originally recommended. I still recommend it. It's a great tool, except I think Optionsellerroi is a little bit more customized to wheel traders like myself, so that's why I bumped it up and replaced it on my #1 stock screener. But this is what I like from Barchart. You can look at all the high IV rankings for all of the stocks and ETFs, as opposed to just a customized list as you saw in Optionsellerroi. There's a very deep dive into fundamentals if you want to take a look at that and if you trade based off of fundamental analysis. And there's also multiple screeners for all sorts of strategies, not just the wheel strategy. So if you're, really just looking at wheel strategy, I think Optionsellerroi is the way to go. But if you've got a multiple set of trading strategies that you use, then something like Barchart would also give you some really great ideas. So let's take a look at what that site looks like. Okay, so here we are at Barchart, and what I go to is I go over to the options right here, and I look at the highest implied volatility. So I click on this. So you can see here the highest IV options that are being picked up by this screener, and you can, click on any of these headers and you can sort them by whatever metric you like. But this is, the high IV is great for, premium sellers like us here at Trading 5 Talents. So it says up here, it can be used for a covered call, cash secured put, or spread candidates if that's what you're looking for. But you can go for the highest IV. You can also search for the lowest IV. And what I meant about the deep dive into fundamentals, for example, if you just click on a symbol, we'll do this PETZ, you can see a lot of the fundamentals here, a lot of the financials of this particular ticker symbol, and you can do more research on it this way if you want to. Again, I'm not a member, so this is all free. Everything that you're seeing here is free. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that if you come back, you can see that there are a lot of different strategies. For example, right now we're just looking at the highest IV options, but over here on the left hand side in this menu, you can see that there are groupings of covered calls, puts, all the different types of credit and debit spreads, the strangles and straddles, butterflies, condors. There's just a whole bunch of different things that you can search for, and it's really for, this section obviously is really for option traders, both sellers and buyers. So this is a really cool site. Sometimes it's great to get ideas from one screener and then cross-reference it with another screener, and you can just sort of build your watch list that way, and then you can just start trading off your own watch list. But barchart.com, it's free. Link is down in the description. So let's go back and look at the last screener that I would recommend. The last screener is Finviz.com. And here's what I like about this website. There are numerous signals that you can search for, and I'll show you what that means when we go to the website. And just, a lot of filters that you can also customize your data. This one's really cool. There are pre-drawn technical analysis indicators right on the charts, and I'll show you that to see what that looks like. As well as what I like to do is I like to look at the sector map. You've probably seen them in other videos before, but basically it just sort of tells you how a sector and how a grouping of stocks is doing overall. So let's take a look at the Finviz.com website. All right, so here we are at Finviz.com. It's sort of busy as soon as you enter into the site, but you got your three major indices up here. This is the heat map, or this is the sector map that I was talking about. If I were to click over here on maps, but you can see technology sector, and in this technology sector, a lot of it was green. This past trading day, semiconductors, communication, cyclical sector. So you can see all of these different sectors. And you can see the leading gainer of that particular sector. In this case, technology, it was Microsoft. And so the size of the box is indicative of the size of the gain or loss in that sector. And obviously green is gain, red is loss. But what I wanted to show you is this screener. So if you click on the screener, then you're met with this particular table. Up here in the we're not going to go through all of these different things that you can do with it, but I just wanted to show you a few of the things. One is the signals. And so here you can look at the most volatile stocks. So that's sort of like the high IV in Barchart. It's sort of like looking at Optionsellerroi, but these volatile stocks. But you can also look at the ones that have gained the most, lost the most, the ones that are technically overbought or oversold, the ones that have major news, all of these resistance or indicators or these candlestick patterns. You can use that as a signal within this screener to look for particular stocks in, let's say an ascending triangle or a descending triangle. So that's really interesting, and that's really cool if you're into technical analysis. But you can also use any of these filters now to narrow down your data set and look for specific tickers. There's fundamental filters, there's technical filters. If you click on all, then you can see all of the filters. And when you click on all, you can definitely see that they have a lot of filters that you can look at. So it might be a little bit overwhelming. This might be a little bit too much for most people, especially if they're just getting into trading, but it's there. There's just a lot of free resources that you can use. And then it's just going to display a list based on all of your signals and filters of all of these different tickers. So let's say we wanted to take a look at one of these, and this is really interesting. So let's take a look at American Airlines. We just click on the ticker symbol, AAL. As you hover over it, you saw the little graph there, but when you click on it, you're going to get a bigger graph here, and you're going to have these pre-drawn indicators on here. So you've got these support lines already listed here, these resistance lines. So that is really interesting with this site. You can also draw your own if you want to. But anyway, for what it's worth, there are these 3 tools. Links are in the descriptions. If you want to use Optionsellerroi.com, if you want to use Barchart.com, or if you want to use Finviz.com, go ahead, take a look, check them out, and see if you can start curating your own list of stocks that you can trade the wheel on in 2022. So if you have any questions about the wheel strategy or options trading, just go ahead and leave a comment down below or message me at Twitter at Trading5Talents. And if you want to continue to receive updates and more videos like this, then go ahead and click on the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you can catch all the updates. Until next time, trade wisely and take care.